Oh, you're good.
Good evening. The November 8th, 2023 council meeting of Long Branch City Council will now come to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Viera?
I'm here.
Dr. Vogt?
Here.
Mrs. Wittes?
Here.
Dr. Selly's absent. Mr. Dangler?
Here. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance. The Long Branch Mayor, City Council, and Administration are committed to cultivating an environment of mutual trust and respect the values and the diversity of our community. We will strive to enhance the quality of life for all who live here by making Long Branch a desirable place in which to live and prosper. We will treat all members of the public with respect and expect the same in return. Madam Clerk?
I hereby certify that this meeting has been published in the newspaper in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and posted as required by law.
Thank you. Presentation at this time, we will acknowledge the students of the Veterans Day essay winners from Long Branch Public Schools, and I would like to call up Principal Jeremy Martin to the podium, please.
Good evening to our veterans that are here tonight, our town councilmen and women, students, parents, family members who have come out to support our young writers. Veterans Day is a special day when we take time to reflect on the sacrifices that were made by our servicemen and women and make sure that what they've stood for and fought to protect continues to prosper. I'm very proud to stand before you today, along with our other Long Branch administrators and staff here tonight, to not only celebrate our veterans, but these exceptional students who have written winning essays on the significance of Veterans Day. These students have shown a deep understanding of the values that our veterans have defended, and they reminded us through their writing why this day is so important. It is our duty as Americans to remember and honor our veterans and living our lives with courage, honor, and selflessness that we have learned and witnessed through their service. So I would like to leave all of you with a few words from Eleanor Roosevelt. Freedom makes a huge requirement of every human being, and with freedom comes responsibility. I personally believe that responsibility can take shape in many different ways, through service, support, your voice, and through writing. So I would like to now just extend a heartfelt thank you and congratulations to our students on behalf of all of the Long Branch Public Schools and Central Office Administration, and a special thanks to the parents and all of the family members that came out, as well as the Long Branch community, for supporting and recognizing all of our students, and especially our young writers here throughout all of their endeavors. God bless you, and at this time, I would like to ask Mr. Christopher Volpe to announce our recipients.
Thank you again, Mr. Martin. Thank you, Town Council Mayor Pallone, for having us tonight. We really appreciate it. At this time, I'd like to introduce three lovely children who've worked really hard today in writing their essays. So our first student, a fifth grader from George L. Catron Elementary School, Ashley Roca. If she can come on up here. Ashley, give her a nice round of applause. She'll read our essay.
Veterans are extraordinary people. They fight for our harmony, and we honor them for being with us as our heroes. Veterans are so brave, and it is important that we show our appreciation. I'll explain why in this essay. Once upon a time, there was a boy. His name was Alec Martin. He grew up on a farm in Texas and helped his dad provide for the family. His dad took him to school by horse, and they had a hard life. Alec was very smart and empathetic to others. Alec was turning 18 as the war started on the 28th of June in 1914. Alec was planning on enlisting, but his mother did not agree and told him to hide if that day ever came. Alec turned 21 2 weeks ago. It was May 18, 1917, when the Selective Service Act arrived, which meant that all men that were 21 to 30 were required to register with the local draft boards. His mother wanted him to hide, but the officials found him before she could. Alec was about to go on to fight World War I. Alec would communicate through letters, and his mom was devastated, thinking she would no longer see her son. He wrote to his mom and dad on how he lost his friends, and he was lucky to be alive. Fortunately, on November 11, 1918, the war was over, and Alec was still alive. He is now coming home to be a veteran. A veteran is defined as someone who served in the active military, naval, or air service and who has been discharged or released alive. When he came home, regular people that were called civilians were so happy to see him and the other veterans alive. He is now considered a person with honor and respect since he has survived the war. There are so many ways that we can show appreciation for our veterans. One way is by praying. This will help them bring them good energy. Good energy can help them forget about traumas. We can also help by building. If you have money, you can build a veteran a home or buy them food. Anything to help out is amazing because when they return, they might not have a place to stay. Making donations can help their lives like they've helped ours. Simply having a talk with the veteran could help them a lot because they're struggling. They have seen many tragic things, so a nice, appreciative talk could easily comfort them. Always remember what veterans have done for you because they made peace and harmony for us. They are our heroes. This Veterans Day, I will celebrate by honoring my brother who is currently serving in the U.S. Marines. How will you celebrate your Veterans Day this year?
Thank you so much, Ashley. Great job. Our second student that we'd like to present tonight is Julia Machado, our essay winning contest from the Long Branch Middle School. Why don't we give her a round of applause, Julia? Come on up.
Honoring our veterans. We can ensure that veterans are honored and cared for after their time serving this country by having special days for them. Veterans Day is a special day when we honor and show our gratitude to the brave men and women who served in the military to protect us here in the United States and against anything that threatens us, our safety, or our freedom. Veterans deserve to be honored because of all the sacrifices they have made to protect our country and to ensure our freedom. Veterans have put their lives on the line, leaving their families and homes behind to defend our rights and liberties. They have shown immense bravery and dedication, and their service should never be taken for granted. We honor veterans to express our appreciation and our gratitude for them because without them, our rights and liberties would not be protected. There are meaningful ways we can show our appreciation to veterans. One way that we can do is simply to say thank you when we encounter a veteran. This small gesture can go a long way in making them feel valued and recognized. We can make a difference by putting up posters in schools and in stores and crowded places so that everyone can say thank you to veterans, because those simple words can mean everything. I know that if I were to sacrifice so much for our country, I would love to hear a thank you because I know that I made a difference. All veterans have made a difference. If it was not for them, we might not have freedom and liberties that we have here in the United States. Another way is to participate in any local events or parades to show your support and assistance to veterans and their families. Additionally, volunteering time in veteran hospitals or community centers is a great way to make a positive difference. Schools can have more events and make the students more aware of what the veterans did for us and the military is doing now. We can have events and fundraisers to support the veterans for when they get back home. I believe we can all be more involved and help veterans by volunteering during events like this. I feel that the more years pass, the more we might start to forget what truly matters and the important deeds veterans have done to protect our communities. I feel that people should give more appreciation to the veterans and be more supportive of the people who protect us every day. I want to say thank you to the veterans because if it was not for them, who knows what might happen in our country and our world. Veterans go above and beyond and sacrifice their lives to protect us and fight to protect our rights and our freedoms.
Thank you so much, Julia. Great job. And from the Long Branch High School, lovely young man, Gerardo Rodas, can come on up. He was our winner for the high school. Great job, Gerardo.
In the context of the military, sacrifice can be defined as a selfless act of putting one's own life, comfort, and well-being on the line to protect and serve our country. It encompasses the physical, emotional, and mental challenges that veterans endure while serving. To honor the sacrifice of our country's veterans, we can show our gratitude by expressing our appreciation, providing support through organizations and initiatives, and advocating for their well-being and rights. It is through these gestures that we can truly honor and acknowledge the immense sacrifices made by our veterans. One of the most important ways to honor the sacrifice of our country's veterans is by expressing our sincere gratitude. A simple "thank you for your service" can go a long way in showing our appreciation for their sacrifices. Whether it's through a handshake, a heartfelt letter, or a sincere conversation, taking the time to acknowledge their service and sacrifice can make a significant impact on their lives. Veterans Day is a special day when we honor the military. It is a day to honor those who have fought in wars, some who come back. It is a day to honor those who have fought in wars, who show their courage or how much they love our country. Some who come back and some who don't. This day is to reflect on the sacrifices made by our veterans and also to thank them for their selfless commitment to our country. In addition to expressing our gratitude, we can honor our veterans by providing support through various organizations and initiatives. Many veterans face challenges when transitioning back to civilian life, such as finding employment, accessing health care, and dealing with mental health issues. By supporting organizations that offer resources and assistance to veterans, we can help them navigate these challenges and ensure that they receive the support they deserve. Furthermore, we can honor the sacrifice of our veterans by advocating for their well-being and rights. This includes supporting legislation that addresses the unique needs of veterans, such as improved access to healthcare, mental health services, and educational opportunities. By raising awareness about the issues veterans face and advocating for positive change, we can assure that their sacrifices are not forgotten and that they receive the care and support they need to thrive. It is also important to remember that honoring our veterans is not limited to a single day. While Veterans Day serves as a reminder to express our gratitude and appreciation, it is crucial to recognize and support our veterans throughout the year. Whether it's volunteering at a local veterans organization, participating in community events, or simply lending a listening ear, we can make a difference in the lives of our veterans by being there for them in meaningful ways. In conclusion, sacrifice in relation to the military is a profound commitment that our veterans have made to protect and serve our country. We can honor their sacrifices by expressing our gratitude, providing support through organizations and initiatives, and advocating for their well-being rights. It is through these actions that we can show our appreciation for the sacrifices made by our veterans. Let us never forget their service.
Great job to all the students. You did a wonderful job. Again, just in closing, we'd like to thank Town Council Mayor for having us. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And to all the families that came out to support, thank you so much. The teachers, guidance counselors, principals, administration, Mrs. Peters here, one of our board members. We really appreciate everybody coming out tonight to support the children. So thank you very, very much, and have a good evening, everybody. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Poultry, why don't we get a quick picture?
Want to grab a picture? Thank you, sir. Yes? Boys and girls, want to come up and get a picture? Mr. Poultry, can get the families with them, too?
Yeah.
Yes, right. If you just want moms and dads, you can come on right here.
Yep.
Moms, dads, moms, parents, we're going to get a picture.
You guys are good. You got the families. You got the families.
Yeah, you're right over here.
Доброго тебе.
Love the green shirt. Oh. I didn't realize it was the same girl. Nicely done.
Next item, reading and approval of previous minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the October 25th, 2023 meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly is absent. Mr. Dangler?
Abstain. Consideration of ordinance, public hearing, and final consideration. 29-23, an ordinance of the City of Long Branch approving the adoption redevelopment plan for non-condemnation of Bath Avenue and Third Avenue redevelopment area consisting of Block 208, Lot 2.01, 2.02, and 2.03. Block 206, Lot 2, formerly Lot 1.6032, and a portion of Block 207, Lot 1, and a portion of Third Avenue right-of-way. This ordinance was introduced on October 11, 2023, approves and adopted a redevelopment plan for the aforementioned parcels set forth for land use, bulk, and area requirements, and design standards for any proposed development within the redevelopment area. The designation and redevelopment of these properties do not include the use of condemnation. Therefore, this plan is a non-condemnation development plan, and the use of eminent domain to acquire any portions of any property in order to effectuate this plan shall not be permitted. I need a motion to open the public hearing on this ordinance only.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. If any members of the public has a comment to make on this ordinance only, please come to the podium and state your name and address clearly for the record. You have 5 minutes and may only speak once on this ordinance, 29-23.
Requesting 1 minute notification, Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace, Long Branch. Ordinance 29. The city attorney's office, Raynone, cannot author a clear and concise resolution that's diametrically opposed to what this ordinance 29 is about. The city, in the same agenda on resolution 277, related to Ordinance 29, designates 279 Development LLC as a conditional redeveloper for the entire 7-acre tract. There were 3 property owners in this non-condemnation redevelopment zone: the city, the hospital, 279 Development LLC. How does the council adopt an ordinance 29 concerning properties not owned by 279 Development LLC when related Resolution 277 has 279 Development LLC as the redeveloper of all the lots in this ordinance? 279 Development LLC has not only Block 206, Lot 2, but also Hospitals Block 208, Lots 2.02 and 2.03, and the city's Block 208, Lot 2.01. That's not what the redevelopment plan in Ordinance 29 called for. It's just horrific, sloppy. I've witnessed repeatedly the financial illiteracy of this council, the mathematical illiteracy of this council, and now again tonight, the reading and writing illiteracy of the American language by this council. And you all take a paycheck for this. Disgusting. Item 3 of the workshop agenda has review of regular meeting agenda. Just what is it exactly that this council reviews? Certainly not tonight's agenda, certainly not Ordinance 29, and certainly not Resolution 277. Mr. Martin, is the city still expecting to take title from Monmouth Medical Center to new lots 2.02 and 2.03 in Block 208?
I think we already have taken title for it. The Monmouth Hospital property has already been transferred to the city.
The title's been transferred. And state for the record, what is the city's design intent for Block 208, lots 2.02 and 2.03?
Well, you have the redevelopment plan in front of you, so it details what the...
On the record. Right now, on the public record, what is the intent?
It's in the redevelopment plan. The intent is...
So you don't know?
No, I know. It's in the...
You don't know. If you knew, you'd answer. When asked by me by the city engineer, Newman, the night of the planning board approval of a redevelopment zone for this area, if the area could be declared a rehabilitation zone, she responded yes. However, after immediately responding, the ever-incompetent planning board attorney, Cacciaro, exhumed worthless verbiage as to negate the rehabilitation zone declaration. Completely inconsistent junk government. This ordinance just is a continuation of the city's abuse of redevelopment zone declarations. The use of the words non-condemnation in this ordinance has been fashioned so as to cover 279 Development LLC in the mix with the city properties, so as to elude any perception of spot zoning, which it is, as if the city would proceed to condemn with their own properties. 279 Development LLC has gotten preferential treatment, even with the stagnant development at that site. I'm requesting Ordinance 29 be tabled until the diametrically opposed Ordinance 29 to Resolution 277 is corrected on the agenda. Should council proceed with the literacy tonight and go ahead and approve the ordinance to diametrically approve?
1 minute warning.
To diametrically oppose to Resolution 277, should you consider voting on it? I'm requesting a no vote. I would really think the council will not vote on Ordinance 29 this evening, because every council member that does, a yes vote would mean, as a council person, you are an illiterate. Requesting a no vote.
I need a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is the second reading of Ordinance 2923. I need a motion to adopt on the second and final reading and advertise according to law.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly is absent. Mr. Dangler?
Yes. Ordinance 31-23, an ordinance establishing the nonprofit institution of higher learning overlay district MUO District, Block 70, Lots 1, 2, 3.2, 5.01, 5.02, 6, 7, 7.01, 7.02, 7.03, 7.04, 7.05, 7.06, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, 17.01, 18.02, 18.01, 18.02, 19, 20, and 21. Reintroduction of this ordinance of ordinance 2623. This ordinance was introduced on October 25th, 2023, and establishes a nonprofit institution of higher learning overlay district for certain land currently zoned R2 and generally bounded by Cedar Avenue, Norwood Avenue, Kirby Avenue, and Van Court Avenue. Overlay zone will permit the use of the operation of nonprofit institution of higher learning, including undergrad, graduate, and postgraduate educational facility, and any activities incidentally thereto, with the specific exclusions of dormitory and residential hall of any kind, athletic facility, fraternity or sorority houses, educational service including professional offices, training centers, laboratories, wellness centers, museums, or theaters. Buildings or structures customary to hospitality management program. The ordinance further establishes any bulk and design standards for the MUO district. This ordinance is identical to the ordinance of ordinance 2623 adopted by City Council on October 11th, 2023, and is now being re-adopted to cure the technical defects of the ordinance for the public hearing on that ordinance. I need a motion to open the public hearing on the ordinance only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If any member of the public has any comments to make on this ordinance only, please come to the mic, state your name clearly for the record. You will have 5 minutes and may only speak once on this ordinance.
Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace, Long Branch, requesting 1-minute notification. I'd like to thank the folks affected by Monmouth University overlay for coming out this evening. As we've just witnessed with Ordinance 29, the illiteracy of this council, and it continues with Ordinance 31. I brought this up at the last meeting. In the summary of this ordinance, the following sentence, quote, "The overlay zone will permit the use and operation of nonprofit institutions of higher learning, including undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate educational facilities, and any activities traditionally incidental thereto, with the specific exclusion," and I emphasize the word exclusion, "of dormitories, residence halls of any kind, athletic facilities, fraternity or sorority houses, educational services, including professional offices, training centers, laboratories, wellness centers, museums, or theaters, buildings or structures customary to a hospitality management program." And what did we find out on October 18th? We found out on October 18th, ABC News.
If I can.
You can speak after I speak.
In all due respect.
On October 18th, ABC News revealed the museum of a popular personality.
Oh, well,
Mr. Vieira, how does Ordinance 31...
I don't answer any of your questions. Don't waste your breath.
You're going to be asked a question, Mr. Viana. You're taking a paycheck to be here. You're accountable to the people whether you like it or not. And you're affecting these lives of the residents of Block 70 here. I'm not tolerating your smug, arrogant attitude. Mr. Vieira, how does Ordinance 31, planning a university Corpus campus, quote, "promote aesthetically pleasing human-scale development that recognizes the character of a traditional New Jersey shore town, particularly in a residential R3
Do
zone.
you want an answer to your question, or do you just want to keep talking?
Mr. Vieira, I want an answer because you're the most qualified to answer it. You're on the planning board, is that correct?
I'll get back to you with someday.
Mr. Vieira, what is your answer?
The answer
Mr.
is
Lepore.
I'll review it and I'll get back to you.
You'll get back to me. You're voting on the ordinance tonight, but you'll get back to me afterwards, because you don't know the answer. That's why.
Mr.
The same way the planning board members didn't notice. I appreciate not being interrupted. I have this podium for 5
I
minutes,
understand that, but if you just ask the question and then...
and he doesn't want to answer it now. Mr. Vieira, you're getting asked another question. How will ordinance 31, enhancing tax exemption and tax revenue loss, ensure that community facilities and services are maintained levels that will support the current and future population of this city?
Mr. Lepore, you have to answer, you have to ask your questions through the chair.
What is the answer, Mr. Vieira?
You want an answer to your question,
Chair's
I'll
right there.
answer your
Let the chair
question.
run the meeting, not you.
If you'd like an answer, we'll answer your questions, but you're not going
Who's
to
we?
answer it. The council will, but I will
Mr.
answer.
Vieira, are you answering this question, yes or no?
No.
You're not answering the question. These questions were based on a September 15th memo of the Planning Board Secretary Brockman received from City Engineer Newman about a Section 26 consistency determination of the 2020 reexamination report for this particular ordinance. The wording in the summary, you don't know what you're doing, Vieira, not on the planning board
Can't read
and not
English language.
on the council.
And you don't understand
If
grammar.
Monmouth University, oh, I do understand.
No, you don't.
Mr. Raynon, behave yourself. You are behaving very uncivil in violation of the civil clause.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
If Monmouth University was sincere and the city was sincere, they would have initiated this through an application to the planning board.
1 minute.
Monmouth University. Instead, the city's intent is clearly showing it's a muscle for hire to get the job done via the Palone pay-to-play gravy train. There's nothing comprehensive about this ordinance for Block 70, as you state, Mr. Raynon, because you didn't contact the residents right from the outset, and they're here this evening to tell you that. This was a ram job, and it's still a ram job. Just like Monmouth University tried to do 10 years ago, for us familiar, what they tried to do at Block 70. The lack of transparency in this process is sickening. The lack of accountability by this council, particularly in asking questions and answering those questions, is a joke. Mr. Vieira, why don't you give back your paycheck from the council, huh? You're incompetent. I'm requesting a no vote on Ordinance 31. It's the biggest travesty I've seen since eminent domain in this city. No.
Council President, I would answer a question if Mr. Lepore actually asked one, but he obviously doesn't know how to understand or read anything, and I apologize to the people in the audience that you had to listen to him scream like that.
We appreciate what he's doing for us.
Right. And I'm happy to answer any, we're happy to answer any reasonable question, so.
It's my first time.
Oh, so, to go up there and speak.
My name is Amir Elliott. I live at 375 Kirby Avenue in Long Branch. So honorary council, honorary mayor. It's my first time meeting you guys face to face. We appreciate everything you do for our town. So I live on Kirby. My wife's right over here. We're expecting. We got 4 other beautiful kids that are phenomenal at sports and love the city of Long Branch. We've been here since we're married, and it's a beautiful, beautiful living area, beautiful everything. So we thank you all. I was just informed that they're planning on changing. So behind me is Monmouth University, and to my side is Monmouth University. And I was informed, I don't know all the details, so please don't quote me. I'm not an attorney. I'm just a family guy. That they're changing it into possibly dorms, or that might be 2 floors, might be overlooking my property, might be loud music, might be all those things. I don't know exactly. Don't quote me.
I'll answer the question so you don't go along. The answer is dorms are specifically not included, and we're not changing the zoning. We're putting an overlay on the zoning, so the single-family houses that are there on, I'm assuming you're on the other side of the street from what's being rezoned? No, he's on. Oh, so you're on that side. So all of those single-family houses the zoning for them will remain in place. But dorms are specifically, dorms, frat houses, if that's what you're concerned about, are all specifically excluded. They're not permitted.
So like behind me is the parking lot.
Correct.
That's on Cedar. Will that be allowed to have dorms built on it?
No.
No.
What will be allowed?
Huh?
Well,
So what is the order, if you mind just?
So it allows university buildings, it allows classroom buildings, it allows, so you've seen the announcement, they're building a museum there, right? The Center for American Music and the Springsteen Archives is going to be built there. It's one of the things that's going to be built there.
On the parking lot?
Yes, you have the Wood Theater, which is there already, be a permitted use. They'd be able to build classroom spaces, that's what it is, classrooms, labs, university.
It's not living area
But it's
or-
not, no, it's not, it's specifically not living area, and I have to apologize. Mr. Lepore keeps reading a sentence, and he keeps forgetting the fact that there's a semicolon in it, but leaving that aside, the ordinance is pretty clear as to what's included and what's not included.
Okay.
And if you have a copy of it and you take a look at it, you'll see what is included and what's not, but no, it's only university buildings, it's not dorms, it's not fraternity houses, it's not any living quarters, so that's the
Okay,
answer.
that's what's
And
important to us, so
that's exactly correct, and that's
I
all that's
appreciate your
gonna-
time.
Correct, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Glenn Montague. I live at 752 Van Court Avenue. I've been to the last 3 or 4 painful meetings here about this. And, I mean, you guys finally did it right. People got certified letters last week about the meeting tonight. Got a note from the Monmouth University. They held a little open house last week about what they're doing. Explained what's going to be going on with the archives of Bruce Springsteen, and it is primarily archives of Bruce Springsteen. I asked if they did a traffic study based upon, you know, however many people are going to be visiting. They didn't do it, but then I thought that's not their job to do, that's your job to do, or the planning board's job to do. So I don't know what the anticipated visitor count is going to be to this archive of Bruce Springsteen, but I just doing a little Google searches today. The Johnny Cash Museum gets 200,000 visitors a year. The Beatles Museum gets 317,000 visitors per year. The Jimi Hendrix Museum, which has been expanded to the Museum of Modern Pop Culture, gets 750,000 visitors per year. So I think it's safe to say that there's going to be a few 100,000 people coming to see the archives of Bruce Springsteen, especially the first few years that it's open. And I'm just asking this council, did anybody think about doing how it's going to impact traffic, how it's going to impact public safety? I live on Van Court Avenue. In the summer, there are no policemen. It's a drag strip up and down Van Court Avenue all summer. You ask the police officers in September when they're back where they were, everybody's working the beach all summer. So if that's happening, who's going to police this area where you're going to be having hundreds of thousands of people descending upon the corner of Cedar Avenue and Norwood? I mean, I think also, you know, you're talking to this gentleman like adding classrooms. It's not classrooms. It's a museum of Bruce Springsteen. And I asked at the last meeting that this ordinance be rewritten because everybody knows what the use is going to be for this space. So let's rewrite it for what it's going to be and then talk about it for what it's going to be instead of, you know, pussyfooting around. It could be classrooms, it could be this, it could be that. It's going to be the archives of Bruce Springsteen, and that's how it should all be looked at by everyone. So, thank you. Again, I ask that you pull this ordinance, rewrite it for what it is, and then reintroduce it. Thanks.
So once again, you asked a question about a traffic study, and we talk a little bit about process here. Once this ordinance is adopted, it requires an application to the planning board. So when the traffic studies are done, there'll be applications to the planning board. So, and the city can get a traffic study, but the university will have to submit a traffic study also, and that's when they'll deal with issues like traffic and parking. And so you wondered when that was going to happen. That doesn't happen at this stage, but it will happen at that stage.
It will happen at some point?
Yeah, it will happen during the planning board, because it requires a planning board application. That's
What about public safety?
same thing. It's all part of the planning, there'll be a planning board application.
So you approve it and then push all those things down the line, and then they just happen when they happen, if they happen.
Zoning, and they'll have to go to the planning board, correct?
Okay, thank you.
My name is Jack Turkia. I live on Block 70, Lot 16. I've been living in the town for 40 years. Monmouth University belongs in West Long Branch, not Long Branch, okay? They own a few acres of property. As it is, we have a nightmare from the university. They own, in my backyard, they own a fence. The fence break, I have to go make multiple complaints. With all the money that they have, they don't even have the decency to come and fix their own fence. That's what they're planning on building. This is right in my backyard. I have kids. This is not a school, not a museum. This is residential area. We've been paying taxes for 40 years. This is residential. Monmouth University does not pay a penny. You just raised my taxes 40%. 40%. It's disgusting. And you're trying to jam it through. I never get any notice. I live it's right in my backyard. Where's the law? Where is the law? Why? Because they're Monmouth University, they have billions of dollars and we don't? You have to vote to oppose it. This is residential. I have kids living there. I'm not willing to have people in the back as it is, even from there. I'll give you story. We call the police department. They don't do anything. Why? It's Monmouth University. They're not God. You got to stop them. And they're not going to go build, to give them permission to go build in my backyard. They don't pay one dime of taxes. Not one dime. I've been paying 40 years in taxes. And I live there. I bought my house because I'm raising a family. It's a residential area. It's not university. It's not a classroom. As it is, it's a nightmare. Try to go now. One student trying to cross the street. You have to wait extra 3 minutes for them to cross. And there's nothing there. Right now, it's police department. The drugs, even a few years back, I have some of the students, they were renting a house over there, student. They have 100 people party doing drugs inside the thing. I called the police department. Somebody came to my house. Accidentally, they were coming to the party. My daughter thought somebody coming with a gun. She said, "Oh, Daddy, was raining. Somebody coming with the machine gun." We ran away. My kids got scared. One of my son, he got shaking. He went hiding in the basement and shaking. Half you can check the record. I have to drive him to the emergency room. And I called the police. They come. They're on the football team. Who the hell cares? They're sitting 100 people in a house, 4-bedroom house, having a house party with drugs. You can go smell the marijuana. And the police wouldn't do anything about it. My son has to end up in the emergency room. What's enough? It's enough. I've been living 40 years. You cannot approve this. You cannot jam it on our back. You have to deny it and let them go to West Long Branch. Let them build. They have a million acres in West Long Branch. It's enough. They play music in West Long Branch. We call the police. They don't do anything about it. This is insane. So you got to vote to oppose it. Be with the people, not because Monmouth University has money. I have kids I'm raising, my family I'm raising, and I care about it. So do the right thing and vote no. We don't want anything. Let it be the police department as it is. And I told you, lousy fence, they would even come and fix it with all the $1 billion that they have. So you have to vote no. Please. Vote for the people. And we live here, we pay the taxes.
I need a motion to close.
So moved. Second.
All in
Wait,
favor?
there's somebody else.
Gentleman wants to speak.
I just- okay.
With all respect, thanks for hearing us. I also didn't receive anything till
raise
last.
the microphone just
Sure,
for-
I'm very tall.
Thank you.
I didn't receive anything in the mail till last week, and I don't even understand this legal I don't understand this type of I don't know what it's called. But I was told there's an overlay, they're changing our whole block. I mean, it's really enough. Like this gentleman said, I'm 2 doors down from him. We can't sleep at night as it is, okay? We call the police 4 times, they don't come. I have children, I have babies to put to sleep. We're living here for 40 years. My parents live across the street. He wasn't able to come tonight, but this is a block that has existed. Families have lived here for years. This is not a university town. That they have enough land which they can use. Let them build a museum on West, like he said, on Larchwood Avenue. They have a huge mansion on Shadow Lawn. What do they need to take a parking lot and build a museum which is going to attract I can't even get home on Cedar Avenue. There's a backup every Friday and Saturday. This is a rural town. Well, what are we turning it into? I just don't understand why this is even being considered. I just don't get it. With all respect, I do you enjoy living in Long Branch? I do, but this is not going to be enjoyable for anybody in Long Branch. If the purpose of this board is to make things livable and approve things that are normal use, I don't see how this is at all normal. This is not Trenton or this is not New York City where there's museums. They didn't even say that there was being a museum. They said they're changing the overlay. We don't even know what that means. It is not fair to put this on us. It should not even be considered. And I think even if you want to consider it, there has to be more explanation. We have to know what's going on. This is our town. You can't just throw things at us and expect us to just say okay or ignore it. We weren't given proper notice. We don't understand properly what's going on. I just came tonight and they told me Bruce Springsteen. I like his music. I didn't know he was living in my backyard for the next 10 years. I can't sleep every night with Bruce Springsteen in my ear. I don't know what that means. I just don't understand. On Saturday, we have the Sabbath. We can't be disturbed all day and all night. Every weekend there's going to be crazy amounts of people. He's right. Look how many, who said it? The museums of these musicians attract thousands of people. He's very popular, but not here. Make it somewhere else. I don't think it should be even considered.
I'm sorry, can you state
Thank
your
you.
name? Can you state your name and your address?
Meyer Beta, 367 Kirby.
Thank you.
And my dad is 376 Raymond Beta. He's living there for 45 years. Where's Kitty? She left? Okay. There she is. Kitty, do you want to speak? Kitty, can you please speak? Can you come up? Okay. Kitty's been living there before anyone, so let her speak. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I lived in the town for 57 years.
Well, can you, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I lived in my home for 57 years. The area is the most beautiful place that you would want to raise a family. I never had children, but I raised almost 36 children. When I say raised, on weekends at my home. My neighbors always called it a party home. They thought it was just my children, but it wasn't. These people are the greatest neighbors to have in your area. We never have problems. They go by my home. I sit on my porch almost every day. They wave to me. When they moved into the area, this gentleman here came and introduced himself. It's beautiful. But next door to me, Linda Brockweed sold her home, gave her home to Monmouth University. In return, Monmouth University purchased all her condos down at the beachfront. Today, that home is empty. And let me tell you, I'm older now, I'm 92, and I'm living next door to a neighborhood that has a house that is empty that's owned by Monmouth University. Before, when they used to have people stay in the home, the yard was kept nice, everything, but now it's not being kept up. And this is a shame, because I don't like living next door to an empty house. So if Monmouth University wants to do all this, why don't they do something with the home next door to me? These people, their backyards are beautiful. But you know what? We have that musical building in the back. Probably when they have parties, you have all that singing and the instruments. It's really a shame. And now that they want to do this to these people that have taken and moved in and built, improved their homes and families they are raising, why are we doing this? It's a shame. For me, no. But I feel bad, and that's why I'm here tonight, because I want this town to know these people are keeping this area beautiful, children beautiful. It's just a shame, because you all have children grown up, and I'm sure you wouldn't want that happen to you. And like I say, I'm older, but I'm here to support every one of these people that have taken and moved into the area and improved the area for Long Branch. What else can I say? I just feel that they're right in being here tonight and saying no, don't do it, because there's a good example of when they fought for the Monmouth University for the house next door to me, and it's empty now. So if you're going to have all those things and noise and everything, these people are going to be affected by it. And they've done a lot to they raise children, and it's the most beautiful neighborhood to live in. That's all I can say. I hope all of you think about this, because you all had families, and you wanted to live in a good neighborhood and raise your children, and that's what they're doing, every one of them. Thank you.
Ma'am, did we get her address?
Before you speak, ma'am, 1 second. Ma'am, just so you know, can she hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Ma'am? Yeah, no problem. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So there was a woman that lived in that house. They've already signed the new employment contract with a provost that's moving in. Yeah, somebody's moving in, yes, and it's going to stay residential.
Hi. Like my husband said before, we didn't really know much of what was going on. We got a letter in the mail and didn't really explain anything, so we said we'll come find out what's going on after everybody spoke. And so I just wanted to say that Kitty's right. We did move to the block. We didn't own on that block since the day we got married, but we lived in Long Branch, and we moved over there because we liked the block, we liked the neighbors, we liked that there were kids, we liked the big backyard, and we did move over there. And the college does affect us, although it's, I understand that there's a new rule that now they can't live in the homes or something. I'm not sure, but that's what I heard. But it definitely affects us on a day-to-day basis. And putting a museum in the backyard, it's literally in my backyard, it does sound like it's going to be a major, major thing. My kids really, really play. I tell people all the time, obviously I'm Jewish, and you could see, and in the summer, people flood in, and they look at me and they think, like, why do I live here all year? I said, why do I live here all year? And they look at me and they say, why don't you put a pool so you could use it? I said, because I live here all year, I'm not putting a pool. I said, my children and all of their friends play in the backyard for 10 months out of the year. There's only 2 months that are like bitter freezing that we don't actually go outside. But they play outside in the backyard 10 months out of the year. The college really is in my backyard. I'm very happy that it's not so active and there's not so many people, especially with what's going on today on college campuses all over. It makes me very nervous. And I feel like if you guys are going to add something that's going to attract the amount of people that he's saying, it just sounds like it's going to be like really a scary thing. I have very young children, so does Mickey. A lot, our block does. My sister just got married and she moved on our block, so she's gonna have young children. I don't know, it's really like a family block, because we really all live there all year. So if you could reconsider, I'm sure our block would really appreciate it. I spoke today to Rosie Fallis, who lives on the block also. She couldn't make it here tonight, but she has a lot of children, and almost all of them are married, and they all have a lot of children, and they come every weekend. They rotate to visit their mother, and they bring all their kids with them. It's just like a very child-friendly street. And as it is with the college there, it's a lot, and we have to be safe. But to add thousands of people in the backyard, like someone said, I love Bruce Springsteen, but I don't want him in my backyard. And I don't want whatever he's going to attract and bring, I don't think I want it. Like, it's really not. Plus, the fence behind my house, it's just a fence. It's really not. Like, if you're bringing thousands of people every day and somebody is dangerous and they want to get into my backyard, it's so not hard. All they do is jump the fence. It's not like we're talking about the wall, the China wall. We're talking about a little fence. My kids climb it daily to get their baseballs. So if my 11-year-old and my 9-year-old could climb it, some crazy person could climb it too. And bringing more people in just doesn't sound like such a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, what was your address? I didn't catch it, I'm sorry.
375 Kirby Avenue.
375 Kirby.
Does that back up to the parking lot and the Wood Theater now?
It's half parking lot, half theater.
Right, so the Springsteen building is going to be where the police station is. It's up on the corner. It's not in your back, it's not there. There's a parking lot in the Wood Theater behind you. It's on the corner where no, but I'm just saying that's where it's not going to be there. It's going to be on the corner where the police station, no, I don't think so. I think the university owns the houses next to it.
Behind Rosie, the person that I said, she couldn't make it.
I think that the university owns those.
Yeah, the two houses next to it, the university.
No, the university owns the houses that are next to it. There aren't any private houses that are next to this.
No, but we're on the other side of it.
You're on the, well, you're on the other side of the block.
No, we're on the other side of the block.
Other side of the parking lot. You're on the other side of the parking lot.
No, you're on the other side of the parking lot, I mean. When I say block, it's a square block. You're on one edge of it. It's you know where the police station is?
Closer to the street.
It's where the police station, Monmouth University. Yes, Monmouth University got approval to move the police station. I don't know if you know that.
To where?
They're moving it, Charlie, do you know where?
It's in West Long Branch.
To the West Long Branch side. So it's where the police station is where it's going.
I'd much rather a police station. Yeah, please.
Okay, but that's where it's going. I'm just trying to, I'm not trying to weigh in on either side. I'm just trying to locate you.
In the parking lot?
It's actually getting decreased by 45 spots.
The building's gonna be bigger.
No, they're knocking down the current police station and putting it there, and the parking is getting less because they moved the student parking to another lot. They just built another lot in West Long Branch.
I really appreciate the time you guys are giving us to answering us. I don't know all the legality. I'm just.
I have this for you before you leave, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just a working residential guy.
Sure,
I would
gotcha.
highly request. I love the area. I really, really do. I love the police officers. I love the firemen. I love everything to do about this neighborhood. I love the sports. I love seeing my kids grow up in there. It's truly, like Kitty said, it's a wonderful neighborhood. It's a wonderful block. It's a beautiful place to live. To add the museum, it's truly, like my wife said, it sounds like a nightmare for residential people. You know, I doubt we could tell you guys what to do. I don't know how this works, but I would request, as family men, as residents, residential people, truly, I'm asking from the bottom of my heart. This doesn't sound by any means something that's good for the residents.
Sounds like a lot of noise.
Long trash. You know, it might be good for Monmouth University, and I understand that. I don't know the legalities and all that, but for the residents, you know, I think if we took a poll, knocked on doors, and asked the people of Long Branch, it doesn't sound like something they would want. It sounds like something that would truly affect their lives. So again, I highly respect all of you. I thank you all. You're serving the community. That's my request. I don't know what I can do past that, but I think that's the request of everybody that came here. I don't know whoever didn't speak. I don't know anybody who's pro it. I know we're small, but there's people that live there. I just feel like the university should buy our house.
So, the only thing I apologize, we kind of let this go on a little bit. There's a process here, so if you've had a chance to speak already, yeah, wait. No, it's quite all right, and thank you. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it.
Well,
Is it? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
we let, I thought it was appropriate to let her speak for a second because some didn't get the notification, but normally, once you speak, you don't speak from the audience, but it's not a problem. It's not a problem. And thank you. I need a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? This is the second reading of ordinance 3123. I need a motion to adopt the second and final reading and advertise according to law. Roll call.
You need a mover.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly's absent. Mr. Dangler?
Yes. Ordinance 3023, an ordinance providing a vacation of a portion of Broadway right-of-way. This ordinance was introduced October 11th, 2023, and agrees to vacate a portion of Broadway right-of-way in the association with the PV Broadway Development Project, consisting of 299 residential units, approximately 22,000 square feet of rental and commercial space, and related to surface parking. The reference vacate right-of-way.
Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but was the ordinance about the overlay zone approved? Or
Yes,
It
approved.
was approved?
Yes.
Wonderful. Great job.
The reference vacated. The reference vacated the right-of-way are no longer needed for the public use and is necessary for the completion of the redevelopment project. The public hearing ordinance of 3023 took place on October 25th, 2023. At this time, the council will take a vote on the adoption of ordinance 3023. This is the second reading of ordinance 3023. I need a motion to adopt the second and final reading as advertised according to law.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Abstain.
Dr. Selly's absent. Mr. Dangler?
Yes. Ordinance for introduction, there are none. Public portion for resolution and general comments. I need a motion to open the public portion of the meeting for all comments.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? If there's anyone in the audience that has a comment to make, please step to the podium. State your name and address clearly for the record. You will have 5 minutes and only may speak once.
Requesting 1 minute notification, Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace, Long Branch. To our neighbors of this city on Block 7D, you see tonight where you rank in the food chain of the Palome pay-to-play gravy chain. Monmouth University came first. You tax-paying residents came second. Remember that. To the gentleman that spoke about taxes, that was the question asked to Mr. Vieira, and he couldn't find an answer. To the gentleman who spoke about residentials and his family, Mr. Vieira couldn't answer that question either. There was another one of your neighbors in the proximity of Block 70 who spoke not only of the vehicular traffic, but recommended studies on the pedestrian traffic. You're getting 200,000 people a year. You're not only talking about the roadways, you're talking about the people walking through your neighborhoods to go to these facilities. It's shameful. It's shameful. It's bad government junk. Of course, on the agenda tonight, Resolution 277, you're pulling that. It's improperly written. Again, should you approve it, then a yes vote by this council is the equivalent of a council person referring to themselves as illiterate. Resolution 276, the payment of bills. Mr. Martin, the Parallel Architectural Group, Phase 1, new municipal complex, $19,943.75. Is this the Bath Avenue complex? Yes. All right. Mr. Martin, Resolution 285, resolution approving the 2023 budget appropriation transfers, animal control subsidy, other expenses to $225,000. Is this an SPCA overrun?
Not an overall.
So it's more money for animal control to make it to the end of the year. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So who's running animal control in this city? SPCA. Is that correct?
We have employees also and other expenses.
Yeah. We don't have a breakout on this 25,000 here on animal control. Oh. So you'll be Oprah on this one for the complete breakout. I may remind the council, the SPCA contract is coming due for renewal. There's been more than enough on record for the past year not to renew it. Mr. Dangler, as concerns Ordinance 31. 2 council meetings ago, October 11th, these were your statements concerning eminent domain. Quote, "It was a black eye for Long Branch," end quote. And then you stated, quote, "I was on the other side of the podium against it," end quote. I myself haven't been on the front line of the fight against eminent domain. I'd like to know where you were. During the height of the fight, you hosted an event for Judge Lawson, Superior Court Judge Lawson at the Garfield Building. Was it 2 blocks from City Hall? The very judge who ruled against the homeowners of this city. One of the most incompetent judges on the Superior Court, one of the most overruled judges by the Appellate Division, and indeed eventually he was overruled by the Appellate Division in favor of the homeowners of this city. When Judge Lawson spoke, we stood up,
1 minute
those
warning.
fighting eminent domain, and we protested. You, Mr. Dangler, also supported in 2014 Adam Schneider, with your buddy John Pallone running on his ticket. The very national evil poster of the abuse of eminent domain. That was in 2014. You supported Adam Schneider, the national poster of eminent domain abuse against Avery Grant. So, Mr. Dangler, when you said you were on the other side, you're reaching very far, because on my side, I didn't see you. You belong with that guy 2 sides over to you, Pallone, because it's a continuation of the Schneider-Pallone team you supported in 2014. What you did tonight was very shameful.
5 minutes.
Because if you were against eminent domain, you would have understood property rights, and you would not have violated these people tonight and their property rights by the abuse you displayed with the rest of this council towards them in this entire non-transparent process. Junk government.
Thank you. Anyone else? I need a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, do we have any changes to the list of resolutions?
No changes were made.
We take the list of resolutions as a consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Viera?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Abstain.
Dr. Selly's absent. Mr. Dangler?
Yes. Applications, we have none. Miscellaneous business for the good of the order. Mr. Vieira.
Good evening, and thanks for coming tonight. I want to say thanks for the chiefs for being back there as usual. Did a great job. Also, I want to thank Ashley, Julia, and Gerard for a great job with the essay readers for the Veterans Day. That shows that we have great students with great essays. And with that, I want to say good night.
Dr. Vogt.
Thank you, Council President. Again, I also thank you for coming out tonight. It was an important discussion. I continue to be inspired every single time I see our kids. It's the hope for the future, and to hear their thoughts, their concern, their compassion for Long Branch and for their country is tremendously inspiring to me. So I thank them for all the work that they put into their essays. With that, again, thank you for coming out. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Councilwoman Wittes.
Yes, I too would like to thank everyone for coming out this evening, and the students did a wonderful job. And I'd like to thank the administration for putting it all together, and Board of Education, Ms. Peters, for being here this evening. And with that, have a good week. Thank you.
Mayor Colon.
Thanks, Council President. I'd like to thank everybody for coming this evening. I had a few upcoming events that I'd like to mention. So this Saturday, we have our annual Veterans Day ceremony that's starting at 10 a.m. at Jerry Morgan Park, to be followed at City Hall at 11 a.m. for the Bells of Peace and placing of the flowers. All are welcome. Holiday beach badges are on sale right now until January 31st. They're $45 for adults, $25 for students. As you know, prices go up after January 31st. They're sold at the recreation and at our tax office. The holiday toy drive is going on now until December 8th. Please drop off any donations to Long Branch Recreation. You can call them, the Long Branch Recreation Department, at 571-6545 for more information. And we have many holiday events coming up in the city, so please go to longbranch.org for a list of all of them. Thank you again for being here, and have a great week.
Thank you. I would like to certainly say thank you to the veterans. We have quite a few here in Long Branch. I appreciate the dedication to protect our country. I know it's not easy. You leave your families, and sometimes you don't know if you will make it back home. So we do appreciate all that you have done for the United States of America. Thank you very much. God bless. You know, wear your masks. The weather is changing, and we want to make sure everyone is safe when you can wear a mask. It's optional, but be safe when you can. Thank you, and God bless. May I have a motion to close?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Thank you.